Hello and welcome to my channel. Well, after everyone telling me I should do it, here I am. Right, we're down Sheppey. Wow, it's foggy. I can barely see in front of the car. Right, so what I've done so far is the tide's still about an hour, maybe hour and a half, till I can fish it from the wall. I've set out a pennel rig with half a bluey on. Quite big, I know. But hey, and I've walked right out as far as I can go. Just chucked it in the surf and run it back. So that'll be fishing the whole time the tide's coming up. But in the meantime, gonna crack on getting my other rods together. I'll bring you back, show you the rigs and what bait I'm using. See you in a bit. Right guys, brought you back. Right, what I'm using. I've got my old faithful zippy 3500 7HT super tuned. That's an old Zipple Extreme machine, aluminium butt. Another 7HT Millionaire. And the one that I was explaining that I threw out earlier is a Tronix Pro Gorilla Surf MX with just a pin surf blaster fixed ball. I mean, I needed the line yardage to be able to come back with it. Right, rigs. I've got a pulley pennel with a whole squid. Just bounded on there nicely. I mean, I'm trying these new Trojan clips, giving them a go, and the old pulley, Trojan pulleys seem to be doing all right so far. Right, and on the other one, I've got back end of a bit of bluey, impact lid. I always put an imp on all my rigs, but eventually I will get round to making rig videos and show you how I make these. So this is basically a clip down running ledger, if you like. Quite long, keeps the bait plenty far enough away from the weight. Saves spooking them off. Right, so literally all I brought with me tonight is bluey, squid. I always bring worm with me, but tonight, bit of a last minute session. Yeah, let's see what happens. Right, I'll bring you back. Right guys, brought you back. Been fishing about an hour and a half. Nothing yet. What I'll do, next time I reel in, I'll go through bait up, how I'll go about it, give you a general idea. Just thought I'd bring you back, talk a little bit about the venue. I'm on the Isle of Sheppey. I'm at a mark called the Green Car Park. It's literally just past Laysdown, where all the arcades are, for you that know the area. The reason I sort of come here on the last minute is there's been some good reports of quite a few thornback ray coming out. And it's Friday, didn't want to sit indoors watching TV, so just thought I'd come out. So yeah, nothing of yet. A guy's just turned up behind me, and he fishes here quite a lot, and he's been chatting to him. He's yeah, he said the rays generally come in from high 2 hours down, which is a bit unusual, but that's what he's saying, and he said he's had plenty, so fingers crossed. As this is my first video, a little bit about me. So I've been fishing from the age of sort of 8 with Dad, my uncle. You know it is as your kids, sitting down the river, catching hundreds of whiting. Still do. As much as you try and stay away from them, everyone knows what they're like. Yeah, so I've always fished. There was a brief period where 2 years where I sort of gave up the sport for a bit, had other things going on, but I'm back in and I'm loving it. And hopefully I'll start filming most of my sessions. I'll even put up the ones that I don't catch, because that's the way fishing goes. I mean, this being my first video, it might be one where it goes up and I haven't caught, but that's real sea angling, I guess. I'll bring you back when I do a bait up. Right guys, brought you back. Right, so this is on my smaller rig, 4 rows, pennelled. This is something I'm sort of toying with and playing around with, silicone tube, rather than wrapping it round. I tend to find the line gets a bit twisted, and after time it just, yeah, doesn't go very well. So yeah, pull that hook out of the way, get rid of that. Right, I normally have the double prong baiting tool, but me being me, of course, I always forget something. So I'm going to try it with a normal standard baiting hook. So, whole squid, little baby squid, perfect casting size. I'll pass him down there like that, straight through, nip his little head, there you go. Chuck the bluey on top. Still quite frozen, it's really cold out tonight, so. Right, baiting elastic. I really don't worry about too much. I'd rather have too much than too little and it fall off halfway through. So wrap it nice and tight. Because this is quite frozen, I might need to mould it myself. Plenty of elastic all the way up. Now the bluey I cut to the same size as the squid before the video, so bear that in mind. Obviously you don't want one massive chunk of bluey and a tiny little bit of squid. It always looks so much more presentable as a wrap if they're the same size. Plus, obviously if you put your bluey smaller, it's less scent in the water. So give that plenty of wrapping. There we go. Make sure you get the top. So when your pennel hook goes in, it's got something to sit behind. Managed to hook myself up. There we go. Right. Now, I always go in through the top, out the other side. Pull it through. Then, just through the bottom and out. But I always do this on the squid side because it's a tougher bait. Do it on the bluey side, you tend to find it rips out. So hold that there. Make sure that hook is proud. There's no point having a mast hook. Then, good old faithful bait elastic. I believe this is the Tronix Pro stuff. I absolutely love it. I've used others and they either break too easy, you can't get enough tighten on it, or it's just too thick. Yeah, I found this works for me, Tronix Pro. I did used to have a holder for it, but this is me, I lose things. Right, when you're baiting these up, when you're elasticing, I like to go either side of the hook eye and make sure you get the knot, because that stops the hook twisting. It's nice and tight. Nice and tight. Keep that. There we go. Lovely. Now, a lot of people tie knots in theirs. I find it plenty sufficient to go around once, twice, really tight, and snap off. It tends to stick to the bait. It doesn't unravel. There's no point in tying it. Pennel hook. Slide that down. This is personal preference. I'm not saying this is the right way, this is just the way that I do it. I like to slide them down and stick them the other side. So the hook points are facing different directions. Now, in my mind, fish comes along, grabs it here, and it's on this side of his mouth, he's going to catch that side. If it's further over the other side of his mouth, he's going to grab that side. Silly little things, I know, but it's just something I always do. So, yeah, that's that baited up. While we're here, I've got these rotos. You heard me talk about them earlier. Now, they're really good in the respect that you can clip them up and then you don't get the bounce out, like when you're walking down the beach, you don't bounce out and unclip themselves accidentally. Halfway through the cast, they don't come on clips because they've got a little notch cut in them. I don't know how well you can see that, but just here there's a little notch, and that rotates round into the 90-degree position and it sits in a little notch. Now there's no way that hook can jump out there, and obviously when that hits the water, pushes it open, it's free to flow out. My only bug with these is to get the weight on, you actually have to unclip it. So you actually have to unclip that, push it through, put the weight on and put it back on. Now I don't know if that's just me being lazy, but I'm so used to just clip, off you go. I think if I was to fish a match I wouldn't use these, but for everyday fishing it's perfect for on the rocks, because you're never going to bump it out when you're climbing over and running down the beaches sort of thing. It just, yeah, saves time in that respect. So the quite weedy out there tonight. The pulleys, I like them because they give a little bit of resistance. That's good. I like that. Gives a time fish to hook. The only thing that I don't like about these is there's no swivel between the two bits of line. So I've reeled them in and they've been wrapped round where they haven't got any way of pulling apart. Now, whether just putting a swivel there would make a difference or not, I don't know. It'd be something I'll have to try. But yeah, that's the problem I'm having so far. I mean, I could probably get away with 4 ounce here, but I've got 5 ounce lead on, just to try and get that little bit more distance. Yeah, I'll bring you back if anything comes along. Right guys, it's been one of them sessions. Freezing, absolutely freezing is the word. I fished the tide down for a couple of hours. Nothing. Bait's coming in the same as they went out. Just nothing here tonight. I tried. Not exactly the end I wanted to my first video, but hey, that's how it goes sometimes. If you've liked it, subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. Click the little bell and it'll notify you when I put videos up. Thanks for watching. If there's anything you want to see, anything you think I can improve on, put it in the comments and I'll do my best to address them. Thanks for watching guys. Tight lines.